Is it okay that I'm into so many different things? That is today's issue for Paano Ba To? And my guest is none other than Aaron Atayde.
Hi guys, this is awesome.
Hi Aaron.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome to our selfie Sariling Sikap Productions.
You know what? This is more better production than a lot of projects I've been on. This is
Oh,
awesome.
grabe. But yeah, thank you. So I messaged you about this.
Yes, you did.
And I just feel like you're going to be great to give advice for this because you have been there. So yeah, is it okay na ang daming gustong gawin ng isang tao?
I think that it is okay to have a lot of interests, especially when you're younger. And I think that's something that I had to go through. When I was younger, I was into everything. And I think that it was something that deep down inside, I was like, I need to try everything so I know exactly what I wanted to do. Until this day, I'm still into those things. They're not necessarily the things that I do on a daily basis, but I'm still very much into it. Of course, for those that don't know, I was a radio DJ, started out as a courtside reporter for the UAP. Then I followed that for as many years as it is. And I'm into video games. There's just so many things that occupy my headspace. And I always believe that at the end of it all, you need to have at least 3 hobbies. If you're fortunate enough to have one of those hobbies to give you pay, then you're perfect. And that's how I am with my sports. Like, sports journalism is something that I've been wanting to do since I was 5 years old. And, you know, thank God and hard work that I was able to do that until this very day. I think that you should always also have a hobby that gives you peace. For me, even if I do my sports journalism and my sports broadcasting, it still is work.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone says, that even if you are working at something that you love, it still is work. You will get tired no matter how much you get involved. So there needs to be something that gives you peace. And for me, that is where my video games come in. I have like a little web series on it, but it's what gives me peace at night.
Right.
And I can keep it to myself. And
Right.
whenever I need to get away from sports and I'm surrounded by nonstop statistics and all of that, this is where I could just get my release and just be like, okay. And then I have my hobby that is completely different from everything else.
Okay,
Which is cooking.
Really? I would love
Why are you laughing there, Parts? You know I cook. You know I cook. Yes, I love cooking. It's something that I don't really share with a lot of people.
Right.
I don't post it on Instagram. I don't have a cooking show or something like that. I get home from work at like sometimes 10:30, 11 o'clock. I just need to decompress and I will start to cook up because I live alone. So if I don't cook dinner, nobody will. I'm not gonna have food. So that's my way of
That makes
releasing.
so much sense. You just came up with that on your own. It's not someone said you have to have a hobby just like this.
No, there are also other hobbies along the way. Of course, music will be something that covers all of that. I will have music whenever I'm working or playing video games or cooking. Music will always be there.
Yeah.
Or like movies and TVs, because I was a communications major where I love dissecting shots and stuff like that and sound engineering. But that's not necessarily something I consider as a hobby. But those are the 3 things really that at the end of me doing everything, of doing radio and all of that, that's what I came down to at this point in my life. I know it's gonna narrow down even further when I have other things that I need to focus on.
Okay, so just to wrap it up. So a lot of people, especially a lot of the younger generation, they really want to do so many things.
Yeah.
It's not like before na you have one job, yun na yun. Now you have like multiple jobs. But like you said kanina, there's so much in your headspace. So you have advice for anyone na yun nga, ang daming laman ng utak. And it's all because they're trying to balance personal life, friends, the different jobs that they do, how to still stay focused in terms of work.
Know what is the most important. I knew at the time when I was starting my career and I was getting more and more things on my plate, I knew that radio and sports broadcasting were the 2 that I needed to give the most amount of attention to. In essence, in the day, there's 24 hours. I would try and allocate the most amount of time to that. If there was any time that was left, that's when I would try to make sure that I had time for my social life. I had time for a relationship at the time, or I had time for hanging out with my friends. If I was in the middle of the day and I knew, like, Joy Spring would text me and she'll be like, Bars, I need someone to talk to. I knew that I'd be like, okay, I have an hour and a half that I know we can sit down and have a conversation. But I can't go more than that. I can't be like, oh no, let's just go to the beach this weekend. No, I knew what my responsibilities were. So if you want to do everything, know what is the most important things that you need to do and what you can dabble into. And that's where I came to the agreement where it's like, okay, I needed to know what was my hobby or what was I doing that was paying me to make sure that I could do everything. If you don't have the one thing that finance really all the other hobbies, it doesn't mean anything.
Right. Last, sorry,
Go ahead.
hirit lang ako ng last So you're doing different things. And sign or how do you know na itong isang to, pwede ko na to let go? Is it a feeling? Is it
Wow, that's a good question. The one thing that I let go was radio. I loved radio. That's where I started. I was a junior jock and I was there for 12 years of my life. And
Was it 12?
yeah, I was 12 years of
my.
radio.
Okay.
And I think it got to a point where I realized that I was more in love at that point with the people I was working with. And I loved everyone at Magic 89.9 and I still do. But I wasn't as in love, and there was the fire within me to really be so creative with everything that I was doing with the show. It wasn't the same anymore, and I didn't want to have a show that was not up to par. It was not my best. It was not the utmost of what I could do with that medium. And that's when I said, okay, then I need to find something else that brings out that type of energy and love and passion in what I'm doing. And this is where I'm at right now.
Thank you. I have no further questions here. No, wonderful.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, so you're the perfect person to give advice for this. Thank you. So I hope that helped someone who might be like, medyo nababaliw na sa dami ng iba't ibang gustong gawin.